Hi. Okay, so what I want to talk with you today about is just a simple strategy I stumbled upon at different times when I have led workshops around how we help kids write written responses with evidence, right? So the first thing that we have to think about here is our kiddos at some point, whether they take iLearn or a different standardized test, and I'm talking 3 through 8 kiddos right now even, they're going to have to incorporate evidence from multiple texts that they've read, processed, comprehended, thought about, understood, and they have to do what is called synthesizing evidence from multiple texts. So we know that when they go into a timed testing situation, we can't give them any kind of cute, printable, downloadable, nice tool that we've made. What we can give them potentially is the blank sheet of paper. And so when I know this is the tool that I have to work with, that the kids have to work with, then this is what I've got to base my planning off of. Now, here's what I know. I know that Hattie, Fisher, and Fry help us in their Visible Learning for Literacy book. They help us identify the top 7 literacy practices that grow comprehension. And one of them is note-taking. So I want to prepare my students with the tool that they will have, just a blank piece of paper, to take notes in a testing environment. And if I've got 2 different passages that I'm going to read, how can I teach my kids throughout the year to get into the habit of taking notes on multiple sources beside each other? Now, let's say it's Monday and the first passage that we read in our reader, we've only read one passage. Okay, well, I could still give them the piece of paper, right? We can fold it in half and they can put, the title of source 1 there if they want. And here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. As a teacher, I need to let my kids decide what they think is important. They're going to be wrong. Some of your students, are going to write complete sentences, and that's not what we're going for. We're going for short phrases. We're going for what we think are interesting quotes. We're trying to summarize, which is a second top strategy to help build comprehension. But if we take this note-taking tool and it turns into me as the teacher doing all the thinking and telling them exactly what to write down, the kids are never going to get into the rhythm of having to stop and think about what they read and then write it down. So there has to be an element of modeling as the teacher, like modeling and thinking aloud like I'm doing for you, and how we write phrases or how we summarize key points. And I'm going to model that occasionally, or I might model a couple of items for my kiddos, but then we've got to turn them loose to try to see what they think the main ideas are. What are the important pieces that they think are important that they write down? Because when they go to take whatever standardized test you take, they can't ask you. You can't tell them what to write down. So I need them in the habit, as a teacher, I need them in the habit of, here's the tool, here's why we fold it. I want you thinking about the key items. The other thing I would add, you saw me draw a line across the top. I'm going to draw a line across the bottom of this piece of paper. A lot of times, key content-specific words, I'm not saying I would write content-specific words for my kiddos. Maybe I just write keywords, right, or vocabulary. But key content-specific words are what reiterate the main idea. They reiterate the main idea in texts. And so if my kiddos have to read 2 texts, synthesize both of them, pull key pieces of information out of there, and then write about it, they also need to be writing, including these key content-specific words that help reiterate the main idea. Sometimes students' writing and their ideas get lost because they aren't being specific enough in the words they're using. So how about as readers, we ask them to write down what are some of those key content area words. I know they're not going to get them all. This isn't an assessment. This is nothing I would have them do and ever take it and grade it for accuracy. This is a learning tool, and it's a processing comprehension tool that will then help them write. Now, why did I leave the top blank? Because this could be for